thank you for giving this short interview. I didn't have that many questions.
You're welcome.
You want some more questions?
I'll take some more questions. It feels like interesting practice. I've never been interviewed like for fun. Had one interview on a camera, which was like very serious and for a job. So.
Well, this is very serious, and
Very
it's for a
serious.
job. Well,
Very serious.
you know, it's a task. Just
Yeah.
practicing video, getting good at it. So,
Practicing speaking about something that I haven't prepared for. Even though it's my life, I have prepared for it. I did it, but I'm used to 7 minutes on predetermined topic,
Okay.
making an argument in favor of. Bleh.
this is a good subject. Tell me a little bit about your debating practice.
My debating practice. My debating practice started in 2010 when I saw the signs for the debate club and decided to go to one of the practices. And I was the second person there. And the guy who was the first person there told me that we were going to debate on the same team. And I was very uncomfortable because I'm not an excellent public speaker. So I had like showed up to my first club meeting and now I'm making a speech in front of all of these people. It was on government-sponsored censorship. Government-sponsored censorship. Say that 10 times fast. Sponsored censorship. Sponsored censorship. Sponsored censorship. Sponsored censorship of art. So I was excited. Like, this seems like an interesting topic, except I totally tanked on my speech. So parliamentary debates are divided into two teams of, well, two sides of two teams each. So 4 people on a side. The opening proposition speaks, the opening opposition speaks. The opening proposition speaks again, their second person, and then second person is the opening opposition, and then it's the closing act, same order, 4 speeches, back and forth. 7-minute speeches. The first minute and last minute, nobody can interrupt you, but from like 1 minute until 6 minutes, anybody on the other side can stand up and try to ask you a question. Everybody has their own style of putting somebody down or taking these points, but you're supposed to take somebody's point so that you can demonstrate that you're coming up with an argument and responding to anybody else's concerns, and that you actually have this thought out and that you spent your 15 minutes of prep well instead of crying in the bathroom or hiding in the elevator or eating snacks or smoking cigarettes or any of the other irresponsible things that I ever did with my prep time. From that first debate until like the first tournament that I went on, I was not a great debater. At that first tournament, I was still not a great debater, but I actually did it, and like I was used to 1 or 2 rounds a week, so when it became 12 rounds in 2 days and just like 6 hours straight of like a debate, then listening to like the adjudication decisions and everything, and then going back to the big room with everybody in like some giant college auditorium, figuring out what's the next one going to be, and then figured out like it was 6 solid hours of debating and speaking and thinking and being on my feet, and like 4 hours into it I just cracked. Like, I don't care what I say, I don't care what I look like, I don't care what anybody thinks of these arguments, like I'm going to come up with interesting things to say and just fucking say it. I don't care. So that tournament was okay. The Yale tournament that I went to was like the more serious one, and it was so poorly run that I vowed never to go back again. At the Adelphi tournament that I went to, I made friends with a bunch of other New York debate teams and started hanging out with them and getting into some trouble. Hung over at a debate practice once at school. We decided to have it outside. We were in like the courtyard at school, and just keeping with the whole, I don't really care what anybody has to say. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care if I lose this debate. Like, it's practice. I'm speaking. I'm meeting people. I'm having fun. I didn't take it as seriously as some other people took it. So that was when I kind of threw debate and brought in like the History Channel aliens guy kind of argument. Like, it's the only explanation. So people didn't really appreciate that, and then between that and just feeling like weird about debating the next time I was there, and weird about debating the time after that, and weird about debating the time after that, like, didn't really so much. So started judging debate tournaments because I had taken classes in rhetoric and argument and logic and had practice with the debate team, so I knew how it was supposed to work. And I'm good at judging people and their arguments and listening to what people are saying and not having to immediately come up with something. I'm just thinking, or oh, or any of the things that you can think about something that somebody says. So that was when things got really interesting, and I started watching people speak and picking apart their arguments.